Hey everybody, it's Trevor Hammond here, author of Mortgages, Money, and Life, and mortgage advisor, branch manager for Sierra Pacific Mortgage. Every week I'm diving into one of the 52 lessons from the book around one of the main areas of topic, right? Mortgages or money or life. This week I'm talking about lesson number 27 in the money section. It's titled How to Prioritize Your Cash Flow. So what I'm going to do for this one, because this is a very important lesson that we have been teaching all of our clients for many, many years. And it's a foundational piece of advice for you to make all cash and cash flow decisions going forward if you really run with this. All right. So I'm going to switch over to my screen, which I like to call my whiteboard. Number one. Okay, there's 4 steps to this, but number 1 is establishing your cash reserves. Now, if you haven't watched my video on that, please go watch that, because I walk you through some tips on establishing your cash reserves, setting goals for how much in cash reserves you should have. But any money you have at the end of the month, or if a windfall of money comes at you or a big bonus shows up, I first suggest you look at your cash reserves. And does it need to be funded? Are you at the goal, or are you still a little bit shy of what your goal is for that bucket? Okay. Once that's full, the next chunk of money you have, if it's an extra $5 or $500 or $5,000, should go to eliminating what I call bad debt. All right. You might hear it be described as consumer debt. I call it any debt that is not a mortgage. All right. So a better way to put that, and as I look at your debt profile, any debt that any money you owe somebody else that is not being used to control an asset that will make you money over time, get rid of. It's a bad debt. Okay, so if I have an extra $5 or $5,000, I put it towards debt. And there's a lot of strategies on how to approach that I'll cover in other videos, but the money should go there. Once I've got my cash reserves in place to my goal and my consumer or bad debt is gone, I want to build liquidity. Now, what does that mean? Liquidity means all of my assets outside of home equity and even retirement, because a lot of people are filling up their retirement, through their employer contributions. Their house values are going up and they've got equity in their home. But there's nothing in between there. There's no other investments for most families across this country. Liquidity is financial safety if you've ever been through tough times. So set a goal, a big goal. What would it feel like if you had a year's worth of your salary saved or invested outside of retirement, right? That you could tap into for future vacations, gifts for your children, a second home, paying cash for a car if you chose to. It suddenly gives you options, all right? So building liquidity, and where you put that money, again, that's for a future lesson, or that's to talk with your financial advisor about, because there's a lot of places to store those dollars. But it's that money that's accessible for all of those other short and intermediate type of goals outside of retirement, all right? So set a big goal, right? And start funding that. It could be $50,000, $100,000. It could be $1 million over your lifetime. There is no limit to that goal. Now, fourth and final place to store your money based on this model, if all of these other things are met or in the process of being met, pay off the mortgage. Have at it. I will be your biggest advocate on paying off the mortgage. The problem we've seen over all the years is people do this, what I'm showing you on the screen here, out of order. We talk to families and homeowners day after day after day, and they're putting an extra $200 a month towards paying off their mortgage, yet they have not sufficiently filled up their cash reserves. They still have non-mortgage debt or bad debt. They don't have a lot of liquidity in their life as far as other assets, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, multiple savings accounts, you name it. But they're paying off their mortgage. So there's nothing wrong with paying off the mortgage. Someday we all should hope to have a house with no mortgage. Absolutely, if that's your goal. But do it in the right order to optimize your cash and cash flow and make sure you have a lot of choices throughout your life. And when tough times come at you, you are prepared. All right? Talk to you soon. I really hope this is helpful. I spent an extra minute or two on this one because this is a real foundational piece that we teach every day of our lives to all of our mortgage planning clients. All right, Trevor Hammond here. If you ever have any questions, please reach out to myself or my team. I wish you the best. Bye-bye.